Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. My name is Gina Migliaccio, and I'm very excited to be talking with you today. Now, before we begin, tell me this. What do you think of when you hear time management? Now, for some of you, it could be a clock. For others, it could be the calendar app on your smartphone. But for most of us, I'm pretty sure it's the image of ourselves scrambling from one task to another. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, what is time anyway? So some of us might say it's a social construct. Other might think of it as just this ethereal force. It's one of those things you can't really see it or touch it, but you know it's there, right? Whatever it is, there never seems to be enough of it. And I think that's why we often hear that time is precious, and it definitely is. But the ultimate truth here is that time is finite. Um, you see the picture on the screen is an hourglass. We know without a doubt that the sand is going to run to the bottom, right? It's going to run out. And that's for everything, whether it's a day, a year, or a lifetime. And as students and workers, parents and leaders, whatever hat you're wearing, it is so crucial to be as organized and as careful with our time as possible. Now, do we know what this is? Have we ever seen this movie? For those of you who don't know, it is the DeLorean from the 1985 hit movie Back to the Future. Now, wouldn't it be great if we all had this? I mean, we'd have all the time in the world. We wouldn't have to worry about anything that has to do with a schedule. We would just be able to go back in time, considering we have enough plutonium, for those of you who are fans of the movie. But here's the truth here. We are not Doc and Marty, and we do not have a DeLorean that can manipulate the space-time continuum. But that doesn't mean that we can't still be masters of our own time. Now, rather than time management, as we often hear, let's shift our thinking a little bit to a model that's focused on time leadership. And let's just talk about the difference a little. Now, management, it's defined as sort of like the efficiency in terms of dealing with cost, equipment, various systems to accomplish a goal. So in short, when you manage something, you're kind of just dealing with it. You're taking what's thrown at you and you're just sort of saying, okay, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to deal with the status quo. Now, leadership is the practice of influencing your ideas, beliefs, capabilities, and willingness to achieve and master a goal or vision. So ultimately, leaders are changing the status quo. When we're leaders of our own time, we are able to create effective changes, not only within our mindset, but with our daily habits and for the betterment of our own lives. So with time management and leadership, we are not just dealing with our tasks, we are mastering them. Now, it all starts by shifting our mindset, right? It's all starting with the mind. And this kicks into overdrive when we start by identifying our why. Now, Simon Sinek, who's an American author and motivational TED Talk speaker, once said, "The people do not buy what you do, they buy why you do it." And in our own mindset, we have to buy in, or at least believe in, the reason behind our actions, right? We have to believe in those actions, those intentions, and those dreams, because intentional goal setting, even with your time, is absolutely crucial. For example, let's say you have a goal to start waking up earlier, but you don't know why. You hear it's good for you. You want to wake up earlier. So you ask yourself, why should I wake up early tomorrow morning? You're not really understanding, when you're asking why, there needs to be some kind of a value identified in the time itself. Otherwise, you're just unsure of the purpose, and that would make you unlikely to, make time for that objective because there's no value in it. So for you, you have to set your value. And time leadership requires purposeful change and action. It helps you reframe your question, and it makes more of a optimistic and intentional purpose for that goal. So let's shift our thinking here, right? So instead of asking ourselves, why should I wake up earlier tomorrow morning? Let's make it optimistic and frame it like this. What can I do with the extra 30 minutes I'll have in the morning? Now, studies indicate that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. And journaling helps with this, as well as keeping a log. You'll see right on your screen that we have a little sample log right here with these 4 categories. What is my goal? So that's your what. Why do I want it? So that identifies your why and your purpose. That's key here. When will I do it? We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but making that designated time is super important when it comes to time leadership goal setting. And there's also this added column, say you have a deadline for this particular goal. You'll see at the bottom example, you have a final exam for biology that you want to study for. Like we said, time is finite, so you want to make sure that that time is allotted to you. Now, there are a bunch of other tools that you can use. You're cooped up at home, you're probably juggling a million things right now, like work, school, childcare, house care, just life in general. So I have a few tactical tips and tricks that are tried and true tools in tackling and treasuring your time. And if anybody can say that 5 times fast, give me a call. So the first tactic I'd like to talk about with you is using the calendar day planner type of tool. Now with this, it's important to write down everything. And I do mean everything. That includes downtime, the time you're spending on the phone, watching TV, what have you. Because this is a visual measurement of your time window. This allows you to actually see what your day looks like. And in doing this, you should use as many colors and images as you'd like to map out your personnel calendar. Paper really is key with this. Just the kinesthetic learning style of color coding, using different pens and markers, symbols, it designates value to your particular task. Remember, you are the leader of your own time, so this can look any way you want it to. I'm just going to throw in an example from one of the students I advised. She has clear folders and backpacks for her classes, and she has the calendar of her day right there on the screen for, she could just look on her backpack and it's already there. It's already showing up, so she knows what is going on with the rest of her day. So, time leadership, it requires a lot of tracking and analyzing. Even if you're tracking your downtime, this is going to help you look for those patterns that are going to curb your future habits. Some calendar tips. Start with a designated period of time, usually from the time you wake up to bedtime. So say you wake up at 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., you go to bed. You want to make sure that you're tracking that time. To get started, log your entire day every day for 6 days. If you miss a day or two, that's okay. Just do your best, do as best you can. Now on the 7th day, this is the key here. You want to review your week that has just passed by. This is going to give you the opportunity to look for patterns and open spaces where you might find that your time actually opens up, and who doesn't need more time every now and again? And based on that review, you're going to set your time leadership goals onto your calendar for next week. Usually when we're setting goals, we want to make sure that they are specific and realistic. In the webinar series, you're going to hear more about SMART goals. When it comes to setting aside time leadership goals, start small. Go for a 15-minute change. Instead of watching Netflix for an hour each day, maybe you can watch it for 45 minutes. This sets time for you to reach those goals that you're looking to obtain. Now, we've all heard of to-do lists, right? They're very effective, but one thing you could benefit from is making it a when to-do list. I often tell my students a goal without a timeline is just a dream. So we want to make sure that you are designating a specific time for your task. So for example, instead of writing grocery shopping on that to-do list, try writing grocery shopping on Sunday from 12 to 1. This way, your time is specific, it's allotted, you've penciled it out, and you're good to go. Now, parents out there, you have the added challenge of childcare. Sometimes things are urgent with them, things pop up. Remember, with time leadership, you are changing habits to conquer your goals, not anybody else's. So flexibility is okay. Um, it's all right to make some extra time or some unscheduled time for your child. You have to do what you have to do. Um, Another tip for parents out there is to block off the time in your planner with the child's name. So instead of, just playing with the Tommy, on that list, set aside Lego time with Tommy on Friday from 11 a.m. to noon. This way your time has meaning, clarity, and hey, you get to play with Legos. So that's pretty fun. Now, speaking of blocking things off, one very underrated practice in arranging time is actually saying no to things. Now, this is a crucial leadership skill. I know it's often said that leaders are always jumping onto things. They're saying yes. They're busy, busy, go, go, go. This actually isn't true or effective. Saying no is an organizational necessity, because the biggest key in practicing effective time leadership is taking on manageable and realistic tasks. Saying no can be hard for a lot of people, but by eliminating these unnecessary daily duties and stressors from your schedule, you're enabled to more effectively prioritize your daily objectives. And then by saying no, you also make time for beneficial things to focus on. So let's call this the yes checklist. So for your time, you want to make sure that you are setting aside those moments for things that may be time sensitive or deadline driven. Homework assignments, arrangements you made with your family, things like that. Things that bring you joy. It's so funny, in the scheme of things, we often forget, we should be having a little bit of fun with our life. So you definitely want to make some time to do something that makes you smile. Things that will benefit your overall sense of academic, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. This is something that kind of makes up the whole person at the end of the day. We're not just static creatures, but all of these factors come into play, and we want to make sure that we're making time for them. And things that are also necessary to your life goals. This ties in with your career, your academic life, your personal life. The yes checklist items are really key for kind of prioritizing things in your life that you want to do, those things that you want to achieve. Yes, checklist items should also come with corresponding actions. So here's the example. Let's say you have a goal of talking with your friends sometime this week. It brings you joy. You love your friends. You want to make time for your friends. So a corresponding action could be setting aside about 30 minutes on Friday to do a video chat. I know a lot of us are utilizing the video chat tool with everything going on with COVID-19. So again, just another way to make sure that you're hitting everything on your yes checklist. Okay, now, does this seem like a lot? I'm sure for a lot of you, this can be a bit overwhelming, but no need to worry. We have our handy dandy time leadership toolbox that goes over pretty much everything you're going to need to make sure you're using effective time leadership strategies. So these tools are a journal or a day planner, free online resources, and positive affirmations. So the best investment that you can make in organizing your time is definitely with some kind of a journal or a day planner. Really one that's not on the smartphone. I know we're all pretty much glued to our phones, but paper really is key. It's a great way to, make things personal. Again, color code it, stamp it, personalize it. You really can't go wrong. Just as long as you're making time to make it happen, that's all that matters. Yeah, and while paper is key, there are a lot of different online resources for free that you can use as well. For instance, let's say you need some help organizing things with your academic life. My Study Life is a free tool that helps you organize your classes, tasks, exams, things like that. Um, let's say you work from home and you have a team of 4 to 5 people and you need to start to work on this project. With the remote challenge, Toggle is a great project scheduling application that can help you. It's free, again, free up to 5 people who join that plan with you. So really a great thing to utilize. And then Microsoft Teams, all the students watching out there, this is a free video conferencing and calendar tool that is available for all Mercer students. So they're out there, all of these resources, you just gotta look for them. And now the world has a lot going on right now, right? Everybody needs something to kind of keep them uplifted, remind them of their why, keep them inspired. With effective time leadership, a vision board kind of like the one that you'll see here, um, really keeps you focused and to kind of help you be the best you can be. So you'll see different categories like the things you want to do, things you want to try, sections for dreams. I've seen students add a section for daily quotes, some kind of an inspirational quote or message, just something that makes you kind of reset and remember, what you're doing here on this planet, why you want to make the most of every single day and all of the finite time that you have. Okay, so let's see. We have our why, we have our logging template, we have our when to do list, we have our yes checklist, and we have our toolbox. So I think we're on our way to making effective changes and being successful with our time leadership. Now, I'm not sure if anybody has any questions or concerns after watching this webinar, but if you do, please feel free to reach out to me, via email. My phone number is also there as well. I might be a little quicker if you email me, then I'll get back to you. But either way, I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. So thank you all for your time, no pun intended. And again, if you'd like a copy of this presentation or have any questions, please shoot me an email. I'm pretty much always here. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.